I'm a new coach. I want to start doing speaking gigs. Where do I start?
Looking for pre-formed groups. So looking for groups that are already formed around topics, and then asking if you can do basically a free workshop for them. And the key is it needs to be something where you are truly delivering value, not even pitching or presenting your service in any way. You don't, yeah, you don't want to, you can mention it, sure, but it's more around delivering value. If you deliver value, people are going to appreciate that and they will hire you. Yeah, preformed groups. It's a lot. I mean, that's a lot of work. It's not, I mean, I viewed that when I was establishing my own practice, like that was the very best, that was the hardest thing to do, but it was also the very best use of my time. And when you're thinking, like, it's also helpful to think of it in terms of what is your revenue generating activity? And your revenue generating activities are those that put you in touch with more potential clients and conversations with those potential clients, and delivering amazing service to the clients you have, because then they refer you to other people. So those are the three major revenue generating activities. Other things that need to happen, I mean, those are all also important, like, making sure your books are in order, all those kinds of things. But yeah, no, it's focusing on the revenue generating activities. That is one of them. It is the hardest one, I think. So you have to give yourself a lot of grace. You have to do lots of asks, lots of research, lots of searching, but it's totally worth it.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's volunteering, maybe volunteering locally. The question I would add for anyone who's considering this is, why is speaking important to you as part of your business and as part of coaching? Because I also know plenty of coaches who are just coaches. They don't speak. They might facilitate a webinar, or they might do sessions that include coaching. So what does speaking mean? Why is it important? What life purpose does that connect to? I know a lot of people want to write books. So if you're writing a book, maybe that would connect to speaking. Words of wisdom from me, from having done this, that, and the other. Don't try to do it all. And don't think that don't kind of put yourself in a situation where you feel that you have to be perfect and you have to know everything and answer all questions. And I think that's where even thinking about your niche is important, or keeping it simple as well. Sometimes we can overcomplicate these things. And I know when I first started out and I was invited to speak, and I would put so much pressure on what I thought I needed to say. And sometimes a lot of just my learning or reminding people of key points was enough. So I would go back to that question of, why is speaking important to you in your business?
Right, right. For me, it was my primary vehicle for getting clients. And I loved it. I enjoy it. I still do. And going back, the thing I've learned really quickly is the most effective way to get those speaking engagements is to network. Yeah. And if you can, I would start with the people, like, find the list, find the groups of people you want to connect with. Then ask yourself, who do I know who's connected to groups like that? The very hardest is your first handful, like your first 5, 2 to 5 different gigs is the hardest. Once you get those, and if you can record any pieces of those, or invite other people to those, or tell the person, the organizer of one group, like, look, I've done this. This is the response. This is what it was. It's an exponential game, where the first one takes maybe 10 units of energy. The second one takes another 10. The third one takes maybe 6, then 6, 5, 4. And then pretty soon maybe you've given a dozen of these presentations. You can say, hey, when I was at this presentation, you're now talking in past tense. Right.
Yeah. So building those testimonies, And also your portfolio. You know, if it's something that you love and you're excited about, as you said, get someone to record you or record those webinars, or, you know, this gift that I've been given from Coach Trainee EDU with John. Now I'm on hundreds of videos, which I may not have done before. So I have a portfolio while I speak.
That's right. I used to go to libraries. Like, you know, the other way to do it is try to get groups together. You know, you go to a library and you say, hey, I'm giving a talk on, let's say, like teenage motivation. And then the library would put it out there. Maybe it would get maybe 2 to 4 people. There was one, but I would still run it. I would still do the practice. As long as one person showed up, I would still run whatever I did. And I remember one time there was a time when I think 2 people showed up. But I got 4 clients from 2 parents because they both had multiple children. And they were like, yeah, let's do this. Like, this is amazing. It might have been my very best. And I remember I gave one talk to a school. There was maybe 80 people there, and I got 0 from it. And I was beating myself up from like so much. Like, and then from that one though, I got maybe 3 other speaking gigs, and then 1 client eventually, and then another one, and then they came trickling in. It's just hard to, you just can't tell. Like, it's almost like rinse and repeat. Don't think about it, just go.
Yeah. Yeah, it's surprising where you can get referrals from. And, you know, you've triggered my memory now. I volunteered at like local gym and a spa, old people's home. I volunteered in lots of different places and different
That's
audiences.
awesome.
I was trying to figure it out. And
That's so rad.
yeah.
That's cool.
What words of wisdom do you have, John, for people who might be nervous about their first speaking gig?
I don't know any other way to do it than other just do it. You know, just get out there and do it. I think what helped me a lot, and I really am, I just enjoy it. So I don't have that same nervousness so I'm probably the worst person to ask for that. The only thing I can think of is to really get clear on why. Like, why are you doing this? Why are you doing this in the first place? You know, remember why you started. And it's not for you, it's for the sake of the people there. That helps me a lot. I took a stand-up comedy class once, years ago. I've told this story, right? I had signed up for Portland's Funniest Person. This is back in 2016. And I did 6 minutes stand-up, and it was amazing. It was the one of the biggest thrills of my life. And I want to get back into it, but down the road, I mean, busy stuff. However, before that, I was a nervous wreck. I was like, what am I doing? These jokes aren't going to work. The first 3 minutes was excruciating. I mean, it's just all of it. For that, you just got to go do it. There's no other way just to go out and just do it. You just embrace the nerves.
That's super courageous. I mean, that sounds pretty terrifying to me, to stand up as a stand-up comedian.
Yeah. Wow. It's a great practice. I highly recommend it, but do it with a class. Like, if you take a class with it, same idea with speaking. Take a class. I'm putting these YouTube videos together. I went out and found a coach specifically for helping me craft the videos, and separate from just general life coach. Find a coach. Do it, and he made them better. He totally made them better.
Yeah, you might want to get a speaking coach or a personal brand or presence coach.
Yep. Yes,
coaches for all kinds of things out there, isn't there?
Mm-hmm. And then use it, because I mean, the thing is, I learned so much about myself from speaking, and then watching myself is painful. It's so painful, but there's so much growth in it. Watching myself make these videos, like, oof, like, it's like, really? But then when I watch them, and then I get so much from it. And then it's almost like, you're on the right path if the work itself provides energy, like provides excitement. And it's almost like having that, like, there's a balance point between hope for the future and gratitude for the present. And being able to go between both of those with ease is I think what I've learned in business building. is sometimes it's really useful to make that future place you're going the most important thing, larger than any present obstacle. But then when you're in the present obstacles, like even being thankful for those is it's a gift.